Divine Ones. Welcome back as we continue this very important conversation about taking off the mask. Yes, I hope you enjoyed the conversation with my D Davenport in the last lesson. But now we're going to jump into the contrast of who you are not by focusing on who you are. We will delve deep into the concept of who you are and explore the distinction between the body, the mind, and the soul, and how rediscovering your essential nature can lead to truly getting more of you. So let's begin with the body. Your body is the vessel that experiences growth, change, and movement in the physical world. It's essentially your avatar, and it interacts with the external environment and allows you to engage with the material aspects of life. But it's important to understand that you, Divine One, are not your body. While your body holds significance and your desire is for it to be and remain strong, healthy, and vibrant, it does not define who you are. It is not your true essence. You are not defined by the sensations of pain your body may endure, nor are you shaped by the natural processes of aging that unfold within your physical form. Your true self goes beyond the physical confines, containing a more impactful aspect of your existence. I was confronted with this truth when I made a significant shift in my diet, transitioning from eating almost anything I want to a diet that is 90% plant-based and focused on raw foods. This transition had a profound impact on my physical appearance, ladies. I went from what I perceived as a sexy, naturally slim with curves in all the right places, thick legs, a well-defined behind and hips that drape my clothes just perfectly, to a much slimmer version of myself that was hard to recognize. I became so thin that I hesitated to show my arms and shoulders, feeling like I resembled someone who was extremely slim due to drug addiction. My once defined behind seemed to have disappeared entirely, y'all, to the point where I even resorted to wearing a certain type of underwear to give my butt cheeks a modest boost, both for my physical appearance and my self-esteem. Throughout my journey toward physical and emotional healing, I came to the realization that I am not my body. I am not defined by my body. The dietary choices I made certainly had a visible impact on my physical form, but they did not alter the core essence of who I am. This revelation brought me a sense of inner peace, heightened my self-acceptance, and gave me a renewed focus on what truly matters, cultivating my divine self rather than defining myself by my physical shape. Society's image of an hourglass figure with voluptuous hips, a well-endowed behind, and ample breasts had long been the standard, and I once embodied that ideal. But now I represent the slim girls. And shoot, don't get me wrong, I am still always on fleek while learning to accept and appreciate my beauty as I am. Being a role model worthy of admiration is not about conforming to societal standards of beauty or success. It's about embracing the beauty and love that resides within us and letting that inner radiance shine forth. When we do this, we become mirrors reflecting greatness, kindness, and the divinity that exists within every human being. Now let's discuss the mind. The mind is a complex and multifaceted aspect of human consciousness that plays a crucial role in shaping your thoughts, emotions, perceptions, and behaviors. The mind can be divided into two main parts: the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Now, the conscious mind is the part of our mental awareness that is actively used for thinking, decision-making, and problem solving. But the subconscious mind, very important, divine ones, operates below the level of conscious awareness. And it stores memories, beliefs, habits, and emotions that often influences our thoughts and behaviors without our conscious control. Studies have shown that we operate, live, and think from the subconscious mind 95 to 97% of the time. That is daunting. See, emotions are an integral part of the mind. They arise in response to various stimuli and situations and are experienced as feelings such as joy, sadness, anger, fear, and love. The mind not only generates emotions, but also interprets and responds to them. Emotions can influence our thoughts and actions, sometimes leading to impulsive or rational decisions based on our emotional states. But here's the good news. You are not your mind. You are not your mind and the thoughts you think. This is so important for you to understand because the mind is closely associated with the development of the ego. And as you've already learned, the ego is formed through our life experiences, beliefs, and social conditioning. And it can lead to the creation of a self-image and a narrative about who you are, which is not true, and ultimately impact your self-esteem and your relationships. I'm going to say it again, ladies. You are not your mind. The specific mind that encourages the mask, representing the facade or persona that you put on when interacting in the world, that ain't you. You are not the mind that produces negative emotions, feelings, fears, memories, beliefs, and habits that influence your thoughts and behaviors without your conscious control. As quoted from Mooji, no thought has any power. You have power. And when you identify and believe in the thought, you give power to the thought. You see, the mind does not have to be your enemy, but it's important to understand how it works so you can make it work for you. If not, you will feel further and further away from your true self. Mooji also said, giving energy to the mind is like giving your neighbor a gun to shoot you with. Think about that quote a little bit. The mind is seen as both a tool for self-realization and a potential obstacle. As you will discover in this module and future modules, the practice of knowing and being in connection to your divinity often involves quieting the mind to connect with the deeper, transcendent aspect of your soul. Speaking of soul, let's get into that. And it's very important that you listen closely because this is who you are. All right, let's do it. Your soul, in contrast to your body, mind, and ego, is inherently perfect, needing no alteration. It is your consciousness, your greatest awakening, your identity to the inner life. It is the inner life, and it is seen as the source of positive emotions, healthy thoughts, and moral choices. Your soul is connected to a higher power, the source of universal consciousness. It is often regarded as your eternal and unchanging essence. It is the divine spark within you that has a purpose for growth and self-realization. The soul represents your true self, free from the conditioning of the ego and the limitations of the mind and this physical world. It embodies the qualities like love, compassion, and wisdom. The ultimate goal, divine ones, is to realize the true nature of the soul and move beyond the distractions of the mind and the body and reunite with the divine source from which it originated. The more we identify with the body, mind, and mask, with its associated roles and expectations, the further we drift from our divine essence. Our focus becomes external, prioritizing material pursuits and external validation over inner growth and self-actualization. This soul disconnection can manifest in several ways: an overemphasis on external roles, materialistic priorities, external validation, superficiality, loss of inner peace, neglect of spiritual growth, lack of meaning, lack of purpose, and the disconnection from your own inner source of love, and also shallow relationships. If you've ever found yourself caught in the grip of any of these experiences and struggle to break free, remember that liberation is indeed possible. It goes beyond merely ceasing a particular behavior. It entails reconnecting with your higher self to such an extent that these patterns naturally dissolve and your desires shift away from the pursuits of the lower self. You are participating in this course because you are being guided toward an awakening of your soul, heart, and divinity at a whole nother level. Yes, there are levels to our spiritual growth. So lean into it. Within, there is a call for you to go deeper and embrace the natural joy and spontaneous freedom that comes from realizing your true self in spirit. One of my favorite old school R&B singing groups, Maze and Frankie Beverly, have a song titled The Golden Time of Day. Do you know that song? It's an old school one, but it's fly. I love it. And the message carries the ideal lyrics for this module. Now, I'm going to try to sing these lyrics. You know I like to bust out in song, so bear with me. All right, here are the lyrics. There's a time in your life when you find who you are. That's the golden time of day. When in your mind you will find you're a bright, shining star. Oh, that's the golden time of day. When you feel deep inside all the love you're looking for, don't it make you feel okay? Ooh, I love that song. It's actually one of my morning songs that I go to bring my vibes up and to become centered, because it's the perfect reminder of who I am. The golden time of day is the moment of your awakening to yourself, your divine self. As you delve deep within, you'll uncover all the love you've been looking for in you. All the love you've sought, it resides within you. This love is your soul and your divinity. So look no further. It's already within you. Mooji eloquently quoted this as it relates to what we're talking about. Who you are is eternal, timeless, uncreated, undying, perfect, the source of all you perceive in mind and being. You don't have to believe in it. Just recognize it. It never leaves you. It's always here, and you are never separated from it. How about that, ladies? So in essence, you are happiness in the purest form. It exists independently of external circumstances or people. It just simply is. Divine ones, your true home is within your heart, not a physical location. So understanding the nature of who you are is transcending because it weakens the grip of confusion, doubts, and fear. When you acknowledge the truth about your essence, these obstacles lose their power. When you contemplate God, you probably envision qualities like goodness and grace. Now consider this. You are not separate from, nor different than, that very goodness and grace. You are an embodiment of divinity, just as much as the source itself. The lineage traces back to the source. Your lineage traces back to the source. So how could you possibly be different? Your lineage traces back to God. So again, I'll ask you the question, how could you possibly be different? In truth, there exists no difference, only unity. You are one with the realm of divine light and love, possessing within you the same purity, radiance, and essence of holiness. Your essential nature remains unblemished and untarnished. You are not far away from this experience of being in touch with your true self as you may think. It may sound like a lot. You may sound like, woo, this is overwhelming. You may say, absolutely not, this ain't me. But trust me, you know about it. You've experienced it. At times, you may have experienced spontaneous connections with your higher consciousness. Moments when you feel an overwhelming sense of being at home within yourself. This is you tapping into your divine self. It's a reminder that there's no place like home, and your true self is like being home. And your inner home provides safety, clarity, focus, peace, love, joy, boldness, creativity, confidence, abundance, and optimism, to name a few. Having this conversation with you brings me so much joy because I know it's an enlightening conversation. And I know that if you embrace this teaching and you sit with it and you even listen to it a second time and a third time and be still with it, the transformation will begin. I trust that it is beginning right now. And so in conclusion, remember that who you are is not a fleeting feeling or mood. It's the very core of your existence. Embrace your divinity and cherish the beautiful truth that you are already whole, complete, and perfect. Your circumstances, traumas, defeats, so-called failures, and what others may say and think about you, and what you think about yourself that is not very nice, has not and will not change the truth about who you are. Now own it and live from your divinity. In the upcoming lesson, we will build upon this knowledge and direct our focus towards the practice of forging a deep, meaningful connection and achieving unity with our divine self. I will invite you to experience what it means to feel like home within your divine, pure, loving, whole, perfect self. So grab your workbook, answer the reflection questions that are there, contemplate all that you've learned, own what you heard about what I have taught you around the truth about who you are, and then jump to the next lesson. I'll see you there. I love you, Divine One.